Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the August 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Aries. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages that I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do, however, recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you this month. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post future videos. With that being said, though, let's go ahead and jump in and get started. And column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so last few weeks or month. We're going to take a general look at what's coming for August. We're going to do a money column, a love column, and in the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. We're also going to do 3 yes or no questions, a crystal of the month, and a healing note for you. Now, let's take a look here, pulling a summary card for the last few weeks or month. We have the card Influence. Influence is one of my favorite cards in this oracle deck. I like it for 2 reasons. It's a reminder of 2 things. So this is all about focusing on the things that you have influence over. There are many things in life we can't control, but there are lots of things we can influence. And then part 2 of that, it's a good reminder of exactly how much you do have influence over, which is oftentimes more than you would think. So kind of twofold there, but again, I like to see the influence card, especially past tense. That probably means you have been focusing on the things that you have influence over, which is wonderful. Let's see what messages we get here. The first card that we have is the 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups is a card of wishes coming true. It's a card of material abundance, good health. For those of you that have been feeling sick lately, this is a good indicator in the last few weeks that you're starting to feel better. This could definitely indicate some new material abundance, which could be in the form of money, but it could be other things. We look for abundance in a lot of different things in life, but then this is wishes coming true. So by focusing on what you can influence, you're also directly impacting and attracting those things that you want to yourself. So I really like to see that 9 of Cups. The next card that we have is the 2 of Pentacles. The 2 of Pentacles is a card of having to make a choice. Anytime we have 2 of something on a card, it's a decision card. But this is also about weighing your options. So you really could have been going back and forth on something. Again, there was a decision made, but it was a heavily thought out decision. Weighing your options, thinking about pros and cons. Then at the bottom here, we have the 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords is a card of self-imposed restrictions. If you look at this person, they're blindfolded, their arms are bound down, but there's all these swords stuck into the ground. And this person could very easily wiggle their way back and cut themselves free. But I actually feel like this is saying you restricted yourself less, especially with that influence card. It was like, instead of saying, well, I can't control that, you realize that you may have control over additional things. But let's clarify and see what other messages we have. The first card we have is the 4 of Pentacles. The 4 of Pentacles is a card of desire for long-term security. And I like to see this, especially on top of our 9 of Cups. Remember, our 9 of Cups is wishes coming true. It's more abundance. It's good health. And it's like, this is saying you're on the right path towards the future. So whatever you were doing these last few weeks is the right thing to do long-term for yourself. So I'd really like to see that, whether it's money, again, health, or it's what you've been manifesting or working towards with those wishes coming true. The next card that we have is the Wheel of Fortune. For those of you that have watched my readings before, you know the Wheel of Fortune is one of my favorite cards in the entire deck. It's a card of good fortune, a card of good luck, and it is a turning point, hence the wheel there. So whatever this decision that was made really is truly a distinct corner that you just turned. So it's like we were walking straight and then we took a right, and now we are walking on this right path. But again, it's the right path, so it's really nice to see. But does indicate a pretty significant turning point associated with this decision. Then at the bottom here, we have the Knight of Wands. Anytime we see the Knight of Wands, it's such a silly thing, but this card like literally yells freedom at me, and I know that sounds silly. When I see this card, like in my head, it's like freedom! Anyways, so yes, we have moved away from this position of potentially restricting ourselves or limiting ourselves, giving ourselves more freedom, focusing on what we can influence. So nice pairing of cards there. I know it may not look like it, but big pivoting point there as well. Now let's take a look at our next column, Aries, which is just in general what's coming for August. We have the card ready but waiting. This card's pretty literal. This means there's maybe something you want to move on, but the timing might not be quite right. There could be some waiting going into August, but let's see. I do feel like in general there's something you're waiting for right now, Aries, but let's see what messages I can give you. The first card that we have is the World card. The World card is the last card in the Major Arcana. It's the ending card. It's quite literally the world has gone full circle. It's completion of a goal or lesson. I feel like for some of you, you're waiting for this ending. You're waiting to move on from something to pick up something new. It does feel like it's going to happen in August, but again, more so it's something you've been waiting for a while. So whether it happens in August or not, it's something that you've waited for prior to August. The next card that we have is the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is a card of being very active. It's new project, new creative idea. I'm not at all surprised to see this because anytime we have an ending, it's almost always, whether the card is there or not, followed by a new beginning. So we have our Page of Wands coming in here with showing that you're going to be active, you're new, you're working on something new. And this is again that new project or creative idea, that new opportunity. At the bottom, we have the King of Swords. The King of Swords is very intentional, very strategic, very long-term. I'm liking how these long-term cards are sprinkled in here, Aries. This is on to the next big move for you. Whatever that may be, it could be literally moving, it could be job, it could be health. Something's wrapping up. We're immediately presented with this new opportunity. And the King of Swords is saying, this looks good. This is a good next step, next move for you. Oops. I guess you can have both of those clarifiers there, but let's read through and see what other messages we get here. We have the King of Swords a second time. We literally just talked about this card. It's at the bottom here. This ending and this new opportunity. This is truly like the next right step. So like to see that for you. We also have the High Priestess. The High Priestess is a card of trusting your intuition. It's following your gut feeling. One of the interesting things about the High Priestess is when I see this card, it's almost like I know the person that I'm reading for is very spiritual, very intuitive. This is very, very elevated intuition or spirit. This is like you're so close to that energy. You really are psychic or intuitive or very well connected. So it's important to trust your gut. When we see the High Priestess, you kind of just have to know your way through this situation, even if you don't know your way through this situation. Luckily, I don't know that there's going to be like any curveballs or anything as we move forward with this transition, but trusting your gut nonetheless is very important with that High Priestess. The next card we have is the Lovers card. The Lovers card is a card, obviously, of love. It's partnership, deep love. It's making a choice. This new opportunity definitely could be a new love interest for many of you, which is wonderful to see. If you are hoping to enter into a relationship, this is a great sign for you. But I mentioned this earlier, anytime we have two of something on a card, this could also indicate a decision. This could be a choice that needs to be made. So it could be very well pursuing this new opportunity. It may or may not be love, though, for some of you. At the bottom, we have the Hermit. I like seeing the Hermit card. I just think it's such a good reminder. If you look at this lantern, there's a light within the lantern, and that light is the light within you, Aries. And this honestly is about doing things that feel good to you. So if you're doing something right now and it just feels meh, then you need to do something that speaks to your higher self, that speaks to your personal quest, to your personal journey. You'll be glad you did. You're serving yourself in the future there with that King of Swords. In general, though, this new opportunity does seem to be aligned, much closer aligned with those things that do make us feel good, keeping and putting us on that path. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to money. So think job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have. The first card we have is the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is a a love card typically. It's very romantic. It's a card of partnership, proposal, marriage. When we see in terms of job or career or money though, partnership is key here. This could also be an indicator of a proposal, so you could be getting a new job offer, a new investment opportunity. There could be some career or money related proposal coming in, but this is an indicator of a good relationship too. So there could be a relationship or partnership that's pushing you forward or moving you forward or carrying you forward to the next step too. Overall good relationship card. The next card that we have is the Empress. I like to see the Empress in this column. This is, of course, a card of pregnancy and fertility, but in terms of money, this is very much so a card of creation and abundance. We want that abundance of money. We want that ability to create the job we want, to create the financial situation we want. So the Empress is a great indicator, again, creation and abundance associated with that card. At the bottom, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Anytime we have an Ace card, it is a card of newness. In the case of Ace of Pentacles, though, this is job, raise, promotion, investment, income. So this is looking really good. I do see there's new money coming in. There's new opportunities coming in. Like I said, I do feel like there's a partnership that's kind of pushing you forward or taking you towards this new opportunity. But the Two of Cups itself could also be this new proposal, this new opportunity, this new business idea. The first clarifying card we have is the Ten of Cups. For those of you who've watched my videos before, you know the Ten of Cups is my favorite card in the entire deck. I seriously think it's the card of everything perfect, wonderful, happy. You have a happy couple here, kids playing, the grass is green, water's running, there's a house in the background. It is the card of everything, family, contentment, total love, support. Contentment doesn't sound that great, but there are so many of us that are uncontent. So I love the contentment piece of this card. Anyways, not to go off on a tangent there, this new opportunity seems to be very, very promising. This relationship is very promising. All around, great card to have in this reading. I do want to throw out there, if some of you are trying to buy a house, this is a great house buying card too. I mentioned that in this column because money, investment, home buying, all those are connected. The next card that we have is the Tower card. The Tower card is a card of unwanted change. It's oftentimes things didn't happen the way we wanted it to. I always tell people, you planned ABC, and guess what? DEF happened. But at the end of the day, the Tower card takes us to some place we need to go. It's some sort of change that needed to happen. Might not have been exactly what we wanted or how we wanted it to happen, but still moving us forward. There could have been some unfortunate events that took us to this place, but what matters is we're now in this position of creation and abundance. So good place to be, but this is indicating maybe not the easiest path to get you to this point. At the bottom, we have the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is a card of theft, betrayal, dishonesty. In some cases, this is running away. So two different messages coming here. Very well, theft, betrayal, dishonesty could have been one of those things that's in moving you towards this new opportunity. But in general, I just see most of you picking up your swords here and moving on to this new opportunity. Moving on to our next column, we're going to talk about anything related to love. So think family, friends, children, relationships, whatever you associate with love, Aries. Our first card at the top is the Tower card. We just talked about the Tower card. Again, you planned ABC, DEF happened. So it does seem like there was some sort of event that happened that we didn't want, but rest assured that it needed to happen. It took us to the place where we need to be, Aries. We're going to clarify that and see. This feels like old energy possibly that you're reflecting on. I don't know that there's going to be a Tower moment this month, but it's more like you're here because of this Tower moment. The next card we have is the Judgment card. The Judgment card is a card that's always favorable for you. It is a card of clarity. It's making a final decision. It's about fulfilling your life's purpose. Again, this Tower card might not have been what we wanted, but it took us to this place. We now have clarity. We have the ability, I think, now to make the decision to move on from this. And then at the bottom, we have the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is a card of new love. So I like to see this down here. I do see many of you entering into a new relationship, but you would have never found this relationship without this Tower moment, without this clarity. So do embrace that for what it's worth, but great card for new relationship. For those of you not seeking a relationship, or perhaps you're in a good relationship, this could be a wonderful new friend as well. And let's clarify, oops, this last row here and see what messages we have. The first card we have is the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is a very solid, practical, wise card. It is also a card of good investments, which seems silly. There could be new investment opportunities for you. When I see these type of money cards in the love column, this is typically money around you. This could be your partner or family or friend, oftentimes coming into new money when I see that type of money energy in the love column. The next card we have is the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is a card of friendship and a card of circle of support. I think as you've gone through this Tower moment, you've really realized that you do have a great circle of support, but it may not have been the people you thought it was or the people you expected, but nonetheless, it does seem to be support there. Again, may not have been the support you wanted or who you expected it from, but a great friendship card nonetheless. At the bottom, we have the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is a card of needing to rest, retreat, renew, recover. I feel like there are some of you that are asking, why haven't I found a relationship yet? And this is saying, well, you needed this time to rest, recover, retreat, renew, get to this point before we can allow this Page of Cups, this new love energy to come in. Now moving on to our fifth and final column, we have a message from our future self or spirit guide, so something to carry into the month of August. We have the card Patterns. This is a card of creating new habits, creating new patterns. It's time to shake up some sort of routine, something you've been doing regularly. It's time for, again, those new patterns or those new habits. But let's see what messages we have coming through here. The first card we have is the King of Cups. The King of Cups is a card of being very supportive, being very tolerant, being very empathetic. I feel like this is you. Let me start off by saying that, Aries, regardless of gender, this King of Cups card is you. And this feels like it's almost a habit for yourself. So this could be a new diet or exercise. This seems to be benefiting you very directly. But it's almost like you need to provide yourself this additional support through this new pattern. And you need to be persistent with it. And the word that's associated with the card is tolerant. That might not be the best way to say it. But it's like you can't just give up on this. This is something that you need to better support yourself. The next card we have is the Six of Swords. This is a card of necessary transition. You see all these swords stuck into the boat, but the boat's moving forward into a positive direction. So again, this is a change that we need to have. This is necessary. We need this to move forward. So this change or this habit or this pattern needs to be made, and it really, really directly is going to impact you. For some of you, this could be physically moving or relocating, just FYI. And then at the bottom here, we have the Chariot. And the Chariot's all about being on a journey. These things aren't going to happen overnight. But this is action and change. And this is the journey as part of creating this, better supporting yourself, building this new habit. The first card that we have is the Sun card. In terms of good cards in the deck, there's really no better card than the Sun card. This is a card of material happiness, joyous outcomes, success, much more happiness, much more joy, much more success associated with this new habit. Again, whatever this thing is, it's something that you really need, Aries. The next card that we have is the Magician. This is a card of focused energy. It's creativity. It's about turning your visions into reality. Again, you're on this journey, but you're bringing to light who you want to be, what you want to be, how you want to be. So whatever you're wanting, you're going to receive through this transition, through this new habit, through this new pattern. The bottom here, we have the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is a card of not very good relationships. And in this case, it's coming through as not very good habits. So again, it's moving away from these relationships that aren't serving us, moving away from these habits that aren't serving us to a much better place. But it's part of a journey. It's part of a process. Now at this time, Aries, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use the Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them. But for question number 1, we have the 5 of Diamonds. This is the number 28 card. That's a yes. Question number 2 is the 3 of diamonds. This is the number 48 card. Sorry, I can't use my words. That's also a yes. And question number 3 is the 7 of spades. This is number 25 card. That one's going to be a no. So yes, yes, no for you, Aries. We're also going to pull a card from our Healing Stones deck. This is a crystal to keep with you through the month of August. You have rock crystal, which is clear quartz. This is good for clarity, purity, energy. It helps you do things in your own time, in your own way. It really helps you focus on your aim in life. I actually have a piece of it sitting here. I just got this brand new clear quartz heart, and it is so good. It's so clear. Anyways, and last but not least, so we're going to do a note from our Healing Notes deck. Your note says, you are a courageous person. Thank you so much, Aries, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Subscriptions, again, help me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post future videos. Also, if you would like or feel inclined, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But thank you so much, Aries, and I hope you have a wonderful August.